Well, one of the great myths that has been perpetrated, and it's by well-meaning people, I'm sure, is that somehow green energy jobs are going to replace the jobs of the past. And the reality is that green energy jobs or traditional energy jobs, they all have to be viewed in the context of the whole. The green energy jobs movement just has not panned out, partly because green energy doesn't produce jobs. In fact, it raises the price and the cost of the energy itself, which actually hurts jobs in the sectors of the environment or of the economy that require energy, which is pretty much every sector. We know now of a large solar manufacturing company that has just gone bankrupt in the United States. We know that wind farms don't employ nearly as many people per megawatt produced as the coal or nuclear plants. It's an experiment that has failed, predicted to have to fail by lots of people, but now we have the experience to know that it has failed, and that if you leave these decisions to the marketplace, to the citizens, to the consumers that are buying it, that will drive far more jobs than if you try to manipulate it somehow with some social agenda that neither considers the real social implications or the economic implications. Now, it'd be one thing if we were suffering from an awful climate and a horrible environment and the economy was strong. But the reality is that the economy is in a huge recession where we have double-digit unemployment. 1 out of every 5 men is without a job in this country. And frankly, the minority groups and the unemployed and the working poor in this country aren't exactly clamoring for EPA rules. They want a job. And it's time for the President to send a clear signal, and this would be one of the clearest he could send. First of all, I think the idea of investing in research and technology and development and into new forms of energy is prudent, and it always has been prudent. And to some degree, it might even be appropriate for government to intervene in some of those early technologies. It's been a rich tradition of our country. However, the notion that somehow we're going to run out of fossil fuels needs to be, I think, we need to have an honest discussion about it. Look at right here in North Dakota, we have an 800-year supply of lignite coal that is economically recoverable with today's technology at today's burn rate. 800 years. We have in the Bakken, as we are finding out more and more all the time, billions and billions of barrels of oil. You go back to some of those EPA rulemakings. If we would unleash the innovation of the entrepreneur and the technology that is being developed, much like has gotten us to this point, we don't know how many reserves there are available of natural gas and oil, and that we need to continue to do that. But we also then need to invest in new technologies that identify new sources of energy. That's all fine, but it needs to go arm in arm. It needs to be more market-based, more market-driven, and right here in the United States of America, we've always been the innovators. We've always been able to find our way through these. But it's when the government tries to manipulate it, especially so grossly as is being proposed and being done in this current environment, that you skew all of that. And frankly, I think it would be irresponsible to leave 800-year supply of coal under the ground, or to leave billions of barrels of oil under the ground. I believe that those resources are as natural and as much a part of this Earth's creation as wind and biomass and corn are.